Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So, we've got a really interesting mix of aviation news for you today. Three main things we're digging into.
Mm-hmm.
First, Air India showing interest in some Boeing 737 MXs, ones that were actually meant for China originally.
Yeah, that's a fascinating ripple effect.
Then, completely different angle, Jetstar's kicked off a brand new direct flight, Christchurch to Cairns.
Nice. New connection there.
And finally, Thai Airways. They're teaming up on a joint venture to convert Boeing 777-300ERs into freighters, the extended range passenger planes, turning them into cargo haulers.
Right. Big move in the MRO and cargo space.
Exactly. So we're seeing, fleet plans getting tweaked by global trade stuff, new holiday routes opening up, and these big strategic plays in cargo and maintenance.
That covers a lot of ground.
It does. And our mission, really, in this deep dive is to pull out the key takeaways. What does this all mean for the industry? And, well, for you, if you want to quickly get a handle on the important trends.
Absolutely. Let's get into it. These stories, while different, really show how interconnected everything is right now in aviation.
Okay, let's start with Air India and those Boeings. These 737 MXs. We're hearing they might take up to 10 planes originally built for Chinese airlines.
That's the report. Coming via Reuters and flagged by Aviation.
And the plan is apparently to put them into Air India Express, their low-cost arm.
Which is already a pretty substantial operation on its own.
Yeah, I mean, they've got, 46 B737-8s already, part of a fleet over 100 strong.
And huge orders on the books, too. Like nearly 100 more 737-8s and 50 of the bigger 737-10s.
So adding another 10... it's not insignificant, even with those huge orders pending. And they might get them as soon as 2026.
That's the potential timeline being floated, yeah.
So what's the real driver here? If they've got so many planes coming eventually, why grab these specific ones now? Is it just speed?
That's likely a big part of it. Addressing a near-term capacity shortfall.
Yeah.
Demand's bouncing back strong. Getting planes in the air sooner rather than later lets them capitalize on that. Waiting for brand new builds takes time.
And these planes... they actually exist, right? They're not just paper orders.
Oh, yeah. That's the key. Boeing apparently has these aircraft at different stages. Some ready, some on the line, some even physically in China waiting for handover.
Wow. So what stopped them going to the original Chinese customers?
It boils down to trade tensions. Simple as that, almost.
Oh.
The Chinese government imposed a hefty 125% tariff on certain U.S. imports. That was in response to a U.S. tariff on Chinese goods.
And Boeing planes got caught in that?
Seems so. It's created this logjam. You've got something like 14 different Chinese airlines with 137 Boeing jets collectively on order.
137? That's huge.
It is. And reports suggest many of them are saying they won't take delivery under the current tariff situation.
So Boeing's left holding these planes, essentially. What are they saying about it?
Well, their CEO, Kelly Ortberg, talked about it on an earnings call back in April. He acknowledged they had about 50 deliveries planned for China for the rest of the year.
Okay.
And he said they're actively assessing remarketing options for the planes already built or close to it.
Remarketing meaning finding new buyers, like Air India.
Exactly. And for the planes not yet in production, they're talking to the Chinese customers, but they also have the option, given the high demand elsewhere, to maybe assign those production slots to other airlines.
Sounds like they have options then. It's not a total disaster for them.
It seems manageable, yes. Ortberg even mentioned getting calls from other airlines asking about getting planes sooner.
Yeah.
So demand is definitely still there globally.
So Air India getting these could be a real sort of opportunistic boost for their low-cost network flexibility.
Precisely. It lets them add capacity faster than planned. And for you listening, it's just a really clear example of how these big geopolitical trade wins can suddenly change things on the ground, or rather in the air, for airlines thousands of miles away.
Yeah, unexpected consequences creating unexpected opportunities.
That sums it up nicely.
Okay, let's shift gears. Something a bit more straightforwardly positive, perhaps. Jetstar's new route. Christchurch to Cairns.
Right, launched April 2nd, connecting New Zealand's South Island directly with tropical North Queensland.
Sounds like a good holiday link. How long's the flight?
Under 6 hours, which is a pretty good improvement. Makes accessing the beaches, the rainforest, the Great Barrier Reef much easier from Christchurch.
Definitely beats connecting somewhere, I imagine.
For sure. Big time saver.
And Jetstar already flies other routes from Christchurch across the Tasman Sea, don't they?
They do, yeah. They've got existing flights to the Gold Coast and Melbourne, so adding Cairns really builds out their network from Christchurch Airport.
Makes sense. We saw some comments from officials too. The Christchurch Airport CEO, Justin Watson, he highlighted the boost for tourism, hospitality, retail, kind of a win-win for both places.
Exactly. And Jetstar's own exec, Jen Armour, called it an exciting milestone and said the reaction from both Kiwis and Aussies has been really positive already.
It's always good to see. Shows the demand is there. And it reminds you how these direct air links really do pump money into local economies.
Absolutely. It's a textbook case. Airlines spot demand, create a connection, and you see the benefits ripple outwards. Tourism, business travel, it all gets a lift.
And maybe a bit of competition helps keep things interesting on those trans-Tasman routes, too, adding a different kind of destination like Cairns.
That's a good point. It's not just another flight to a major city. It offers something distinct, that leisure market focus. And, just as another quick example of this expansion trend, Saudi Airlines just started flying Jeddah to Denpasar in Bali with their Dreamliners. Airlines are definitely looking for these new international growth spots.
Interesting. Okay, so lots of activity on the passenger side. Now let's talk about the cargo side with our third story. Thai Airways.
Right, the freighter conversions. They've signed an MU, a Memorandum of Understanding, with the Kansas Modification Center.
And this is specifically for converting their own Boeing 777-300ERs.
Correct. Taking those long-range passenger jets and turning them into dedicated freighters.
Seems like a big strategic play for them. Is it just about boosting their cargo division?
It's bigger than that, actually. Their CEO, Chai Im-siri, was quite clear. It aligns directly with the Thai government's push to make Thailand a major aviation hub in Southeast Asia.
Ah, okay. A national strategy component. Where will the work actually happen?
At an aircraft maintenance facility, they have at Bangkok's Don Mueang Airport.
So keeping the work in country.
Exactly. Im-siri really stressed this point. He called it a milestone for Thailand's aircraft maintenance capabilities overall.
Developing skills, new business.
Yes, developing specialized skills, creating new business lines for Thai Airways, and generally building up a more comprehensive aviation industry ecosystem in Thailand. They see it generating significant income.
Sounds ambitious. Is it happening soon? Are they starting the conversions now?
Not quite yet. The agreement's still in the R&D phase, apparently.
Yeah.
So no firm start date announced for chopping metal, so to speak.
Got it. But the potential payoff is big if they pull it off.
Huge potential. Thailand could become the first country in Southeast Asia with an MRO center doing these specific 777-300ER conversions.
Okay, that's a significant first.
Plus, it involves technology transfer from the U.S. partner Kansas Modification Center, building that local capability, and they estimate it could create around 500 jobs. It's a serious investment.
And this Kansas Modification Center, they know their stuff with 777s.
Seems so. They specialize in these conversions. They've even developed a specific rear cargo door mod they say improves weight efficiency.
Interesting.
Their own target is to have their first converted plane done by the end of 2025 and get the official certification, the STC, for this specific conversion type, which they call the ERCF, by mid-2026.
Are others doing this kind of 77 conversion too?
Yeah, it's becoming a hot market. You've got Israel Aerospace Industries with one program, Mammoth Freighters with another, but crucially, neither of those are certified yet.
So KMC and Thai Airways might get their certified version out relatively early in the game.
That could be the plan, yeah. It really shows you how much focus there is on converting these big passenger jets for cargo now. It's like a mini gold rush.
And Thai Airways has plenty of candidates for conversion in their own fleet, right?
They do. They operate 17 of these 777-300ERs currently, so a ready supply.
So for you, the listener, this really pulls back the curtain on the booming air cargo sector.
And the serious strategic bets airlines and even whole countries are placing on building up the MRO muscle needed to support it all.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. 3 stories, seemingly quite different.
But definitely connected when you zoom out a bit.
Yeah, we've seen global trade issues directly messing with airline fleet plans.
Leading to unexpected opportunities, like for Air India.
Then the simple, positive impact of new passenger routes like Jetstars, boosting tourism and economies.
A direct response to travel demand.
And finally, these big strategic moves into air cargo conversions and high-tech maintenance by Thai Airways, looking years ahead.
Investing in future capabilities and a national strategy.
So, thinking about these together, it really makes you consider, doesn't it? How might these things collectively signal bigger shifts happening across aviation?
Exactly. You're seeing supply chain issues, geopolitical factors, changing travel desires, and this massive growth in air freight, all interacting.
What other connections might pop up? What other unexpected consequences or opportunities could arise from these trends colliding?
That's the big question, isn't it? Something for you to definitely keep an eye on and think about long after this deep dive finishes. The industry is never static.